I've chosen this chapter as the first one to do an audio on because to me it's the essence of the reason why I wrote this book. If I've learned anything in life, it's that doing service to others is one of the most joyful and rewarding things you can do. And most importantly, it keeps your ego in check. Today, my life is not about struggling with demons as it used to be. It's about trying to give back in the same way as others have given back to me. Despite a rough beginning, I've always been fortunate in having good medical attention when needed. I realize that this may not be the case for everyone. This has spurred me into wanting to help others with the same illness as myself. With my background and interest in good physical, emotional, and spiritual health, I guess it was in the cards that I would train to become a facilitator. For the last 35 years, I have worked with people suffering from bipolar illness and have availed myself as a mentor. I have led support groups for people of all ages and have also done a lot of public speaking in the psychology departments at Baruch and Marymount colleges and at New York University. I have been able to channel my illness into creative and constructive areas of my life. There is so much joy knowing that my experiences might be helpful to someone else suffering from mental illness and addictions as I once did. Helping others and sharing courage, strength, and hope is an awesome feeling. There were always people in my personal and professional life that helped me and encouraged me to move forward. In the mid-70s, I met a woman who remained my friend until she died a few years ago at 105. She was some role model. Billy had traveled the world, spoke several languages, and taught me a lot about classical music and ballet. She had a deep appreciation for the arts. Billy was a surrogate mother and a pal. My own mother died about the time Billy came into my life. She never advised me, but had great suggestions that I listened to and often followed through on. Billy was so positive. She never spent time rehashing the past. She just left it there, in the past where it belonged. She always surrounded herself with young people who had fresh ideas. They stimulated and inspired her, and she did the same to those whom she mentored. I was lucky to be one of them. Mentors can be anyone who has a positive effect on you. They need not be accomplished teachers, famous scientists, celebrities, or religious folk. Mine came from all walks of life, some for brief periods and some for longer. The nurturing Sister January in 7th grade at the Immaculate Conception Grammar School was a mentor, as were the Golubs. The Golubs were like parents, and at school, kind Sister January was like my mother. I knew my own parents loved me, but they were burdened with my siblings and caring for my mom's parents. Nobody can do everything all the time. My mom's parents were probably my first mentors, especially my grandfather. He was accomplished and very intelligent. Nana was a sweet and simple woman. She was spiritual, really. Fed the birds, squirrels, and any stray animal. They had a beautiful home in Roslindale, Mass. I spent time with them, especially during the summer. All that changed when I was 12. Grandpa fell down a spiral staircase in their home and broke his neck. Mom had to help them sell their home and move to a small cottage near our home. I saw how my mom gave back. The mentors I remember best from my college years are Dr. Wolf and Dr. Murray Yeager, head of geology at Boston University. They were professionals who had admirable, well-founded things to say and to demonstrate to the world. My first boyfriend in college was older and worked for his dad. In many ways, he was a role model and mentor. He had goals and aspirations. He lived clean, had a lot of fun, and was able to embrace and deal with all things that came his way. He was so together. I remember wondering if I would ever be that together, that cool, that simple. My first vocal teacher was Joe Florestano. Joe and I worked together in the 60s and 70s and became close friends until he passed in the 80s. Joe was so much more than a vocal coach. He was a finely tuned spiritual teacher and really set me on the path of good spiritual health. To this day, I still use Joe's spiritual teachings. However, of all my mentors, I think Hubert is the most enduring. Our relationship has stood the test of time, over 50 years. As I have said, this man is a kind, strong, sensitive soul. He is loyal to his friends and strong in his convictions. How blessed I am, and I don't use these words lightly, to have him in my life from the time I was a young man until now. Ron is neck and neck with Hubert. When it comes to people and partners, mentors and role models, once again, luck has come my way.